Hi everyone, and welcome back to Bryan's Business World. We're going to be continuing with our Assessing and Managing Risk series, and today we're going to be talking about how you evaluate the decisions that you have made regarding risks. So let's get right to it. How do you evaluate the decisions that you have made regarding risk? I would say there really is no objective, one-size-fits-all perfect way to do this. But what I think we have to first define is that how you evaluate your decisions needs to be framed by periods of time. So the first period of time you've got to look at is, I would say, time zero, which is basically right after you've made the decision and taken some action, to maybe about 1 year, 12 months. The second time frame needs to be about from 1 year to 5 years. And then the third time frame needs to be between 5 to 10 years. Okay. When you do this, when you define your sort of evaluation of your risk decision making over these different time frames, I think you're going to get a very, very different result in terms of evaluating your risk decisions, perhaps radically so. So let's dive into this a little bit more. At the first time period, I would challenge you to say whether you've had a good or bad experience. Actually, let's go back a little bit. I want you to define both the good and bad that has come to you in terms of experiences, concrete and specific experiences, in the first time frame, then in the second time frame, then in the third time frame. Now, when you start doing this, you'll find that you look back on decisions and risks very differently. In particular, as more time goes by, a quote bad decision unquote you made on a particular risk may look good and may even appear genius in hindsight. There's many examples that can be given throughout history and entrepreneurs where something went disastrously, or well, seemingly disastrously for someone, and then with the benefit of a longer time horizon actually turned out to be something great or something very fortuitous for this individual. So I think a lot of people fall in the trap of the immediate evaluation. Right after this decision, something didn't work out. They failed out of a particular degree program. They didn't get into X school. A certain business didn't work out for them. And in that time 0 to 12 month, that's going to look very harsh and very bad. But as you go down and write down your experiences that you've had as a result of this decision on the 3 time periods, again, 0 to 12 months, 1 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, or beyond, I think things are going to look very differently before you. Now, regarding the 1 to 5 years and 5 to 10 years or more, I also want you to add in, aside from the positive experiences and the negative experiences you've had that resulted from this decision, I want you to add in 2 other decision criteria. The first one is, what negative outcome have you avoided by this allegedly bad or allegedly good decision? So what didn't happen to you in terms of the decision or the outcome? Did you not get into a failing or dying industry, for example? Did you not get into a particular line of work or some sort of educational program that, looking back on it now, seems that would have led you to disaster? So what negative outcome did you avoid, something bad happening to you, with that? Again, in the 2 longer time frames. And also, I would have you define what other opportunities presented themselves to you from the so-called good or bad outcome with your risk. And again, when you start defining those 2 items, or rather asking those 2 questions with the longer time periods, your sort of evaluation of the risk in your decisions can be very complex, and it should. And what you're going to find is that much in your life, many, quote, bad decisions, unquote, are going to become a lot murkier and a lot more complicated, and paradoxically may come out to even look as blessings to you. So I would encourage you to take a hard look again, over different time periods, asking these tough questions about how your decision making went regarding certain risks. There will be some very clear answers here, to be sure, both in the short, medium, and long term. But for the vast array of them, I think you're going to find that the answer is not so clear, and paradoxically, many of your, quote, bad decisions regarding risk or bad outcomes will look very, very differently for you when you properly do the thinking and clarity on this. And at the end of all of this, the point is learning. How can you improve your decision making? I think many things will be more ambiguous and murky, but I think if you do it correctly and you ask these tough questions and you follow this discipline of evaluating your decisions, you will get a clearer path forward in all areas of your life. In any case, if you liked the content that you've seen today, please like us and feel free to leave comments below. In particular, if there's content you would like to see, again, please email us or leave some suggestions below, and we'll be happy to get back to you. And thank you for your time today.